Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and welcome to the monthly vlog for September 2022. Let's do this.
Come on, let's go!
So, September, here we are. And yeah, it's been an interesting month overall, especially now that we're far enough out from San Diego Comic-Con. Things have kind of gone back into a normal flow and, kind of started just being whatever they are now. And yeah, definitely. So interesting news all around. And again, this section I'll just keep to stuff that's kind of pertinent to me and the channel in general, because there was a lot of news that came out and I definitely did not keep up with it all. So with that being said, first things are definitely some price increases. We're continuing to see those across the board. However, Hasbro seems to be the worst offender of this, because prices are going to increase. We get that, but Hasbro has done some crazy stuff, especially with the selfie series. As of today, when I'm recording this, I think this morning, they had announced that even though in July, they announced that it was going to be $60 for a selfie series figure, it's jumping up to $80. A whole 33% increase in price. And, they're not exactly transparent as to why. So that's a thing. And, for me personally, I was definitely very excited about the selfie series. And, I don't know, that definitely kind of tempers my excitement. And, I was originally like, yeah, first day I'm ordering one. And now it's kind of like, I want to wait and see how they are. It's $20 is not insignificant. That is an entire figure for some other lines. So yeah, I'll be waiting and seeing. And I think it'll be interesting overall for that. But beyond that, a lot of stuff is hitting very, very early right now. A lot of figures that are slated for either next year or the end of this year are definitely showing up in stores or just showing up Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth, all that sort of stuff. And we've been seeing this for the past couple of years, but definitely getting very strong. And we'll get into more specifics later about which ones I personally noticed hitting. And that being said, getting in some pre-orders stuff that's announced. Very beginning of the month, the SH Figuarts Book of Boba Fett was announced, and I learned my lesson last year, knowing that they're going to go for whatever reason they can't solicit it over here in the States. And theory I saw was that it has to do with Hasbro and 112 with Star Wars and stuff like that. And if that is another reason, Hasbro's kind of, getting on my shit list here. So yeah, and I knew to look out for it. I found out when it was going up, and I actually procured one. So I hope if you were also interested that you were, because you had to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning here on the East Coast of the United States to get it. I just happened to be able to through Hobby Link Japan, so I'm very happy about that. And that's due in January. The same time, the SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Wizard reissue went up. I was unaware of that in the immediate sense when it happened, and I missed out on that one, unfortunately. So, I was kind of hoping it would go up at Big Bad Toy Store. It doesn't seem to have. Maybe it will at a later time. I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed. That or Toe Collectibles, because I really want that figure, but it doesn't seem to be in the cards for the moment. So that is what it is. More pre-orders going on to Storm Collectibles, their Mortal Kombat line. They put up Kano. It is my favorite version of Kano and MK3. And I was psyched, all the accessories. It looks like an absolutely fantastic figure. So that was just instant pre-order, not even second guessing it. Then going on to a whole bunch of reveals, and I'm not gonna get into depth because A, I didn't keep super good notes, and B, just the way AEW announces their figures is kind of just like a shotgun blast of information and stuff that's like way out, like months, maybe the next year, like late into the next year. So they had their AEW Fan Fest for Full Gear, I believe it was. And yes, a lot of waves that they talked about. And again, they'll reveal a wave and talk and show the like promo photos of the wrestlers that are going to be in that wave, but they're not into the process of having like renders or anything like that. But the ones that stuck out and that I put in my notes, so certainly the Unmatched 6 Malachi Black. I'm getting the Supreme Series Malachi Black that's supposed to come out not October, but I think November. So I'm absolutely psyched for that. I kind of hope it comes out in October. And yeah, but I'm still definitely getting the Unmatched 6 Malachi Black as well. Obviously, his standing in AEW, he is like on a hiatus right now, taking a break for a lot of personal reasons. So, you know, hope to see him back sooner and certainly reinvigorated. Then going on from that, the next Supreme Wave, I forget which, I didn't make a note of which number for whatever reason, but CM Punk and Thunder Rosa for the next Supremes, and that's probably the first full wave, 2 figures, it's still a wave, but that's probably the first one I'll get both, because Thunder Rosa is in her, I forget which gear, I forget which event they had, but it was where she had the full face paint. It just looked absolutely badass. I'm so glad we're getting a figure of that ring gear and that look, so that's fantastic. And then the next one of note was Unrivaled 15, because we are finally getting the Acclaimed in figure form, so that's fantastic. And yeah, moving on, Boss Fight had a ton of reveals. Boss Fight's one of my favorite companies, even though a lot of the stuff they do, a lot of the properties they delve into just don't happen to be in my wheelhouse, and that's cool. Like, for the stuff they do delve into that is in my wheelhouse, it's some of the best, and you know, that's amazing. And you know, I'm just happy to be able to support the things I do like within that, and that's great, because I don't have the like mental capacity / income to account for that sort of thing, for being interested in everything that they do. So you know, they unveiled, pardon me, their Fanaticos Wave 2 for the Legends of Lucha Libre line, and absolutely solid wave. Vampiro, Black Taurus, Ultimate Dragon, Hijo de Perro. So super strong. Instant pre-order for the whole wave. Cannot wait to see it. And moving on to more domestic independent companies, we get Foosh Toys. Foosh Toys had put up their reissues, actually, of a few of the articulated icons, including one that I was looking for, and the arms pack and all of that. So like, really good stuff there. It's up on Big Bad Toy Store right now as we speak. So I'll definitely have links to that in the description below at the end of the video. It's gonna be there the whole time. So definitely check that out if you are interested in any of the articulated icons that have passed. And yeah, definitely some of those are up. And moving on, going on to dinosaurs, or the dinosaur realm, and the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World Hammond collection. Ray Arnold and the Pachysaurus. Totally said that wrong, but you know which one I mean, with the dome head. Those went up for pre-order on Target. Again, Target's the only place I've seen the Hammond collection on shelves at all. So I'm assuming that's the only retail outlet. Let me know in the comments if you're seeing it in other places. But for right now, I'm certainly only seeing it at Target's. And they are definitely well stocked, which is fantastic. Which is why I actually didn't pre-order either of those, because I expect to see them in the wild probably sooner than the pre-order ship. So you know, I'll definitely be picking those up, because I've gotten the whole line so far, and I haven't reviewed any of the human characters yet, but I will be. So those will be coming up, if not this month, then certainly November, because I've got a decent backlog right now, which is good. And next month is the priority is horror figures, naturally. So moving on to so now the stuff that's hitting shelves early or is completely unexpected, and that certainly comes in the form of the Marvel Legends Mojo figure. When they originally announced this, beginning of this year, was it last year? I have no sense of time, but they announced Mojo, and he was coming with 2.5 figures and stuff like that, and the pack was like $80 or $100, something like that. And I do want a Mojo figure, just because I love that character design and just how weird Mojo is. But at that price point, I was just straight like, nah, I'm not doing it. But then apparently somewhere, I think it was the Southeast, it showed up, and all of a sudden a single pack Mojo showed up on shelves. And yeah, so that is a thing. So I went looking tonight and unfortunately did not find one around me. However, I will definitely be keeping an eye out, because I like that figure. And yeah, and then the last one, just to wrap up the news, the pertinent news, as it were. Playmates, their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover lines, both with Street Fighter and Stranger Things, are now showing up again in Targets, and that's pretty cool. It was shocking to see it on the shelf because I was not expecting it. I personally saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Street Fighter crossover figures and did not pick them up just because the Turtles definitely look more rough in person than they did in the promo shots. So that's my take. I mean, hopefully you see them around you so you can make your own judgment there. But the Street Fighter figures do look solid. And, if they go to clearance, and I hope they do, that feels like a weird thing to wish, honestly, but obviously for budgeting reasons. But I will absolutely pick them up because I do want that Ryu figure at the very least, and the Chun-Li, if they're both on clearance, then tagging both those up. And I believe that's all I have. So let's move on to notable acquisitions for September right now. So getting into notable acquisitions for September, and as I had said last vlog, that I'm slowing down a little bit, and certainly this month that has happened. And as a result, an interesting thing to see was that basically most of my acquisitions for this month were wrestling figures because those were released at volume, and yeah, they're just kind of easier to find, certainly in the wild. But the other main part of my acquisitions this month were definitely the one pile of loot. I'm pretty much getting about one a month at this point, and so a lot of the stuff this month was from that, and starting off, no exception, and that is the WWE Elite Collection 94 Bret Hitman Hart figure, and I just happened to get the Chase, and I want both versions of this figure. I do still want the kind of standard version that is the reverse colors with the black trim, and just was absolutely chuffed, I guess, to be English about it, to see that this is the version that I got. And great figure overall. That review is up right now, so you can check that out, and please do. And yeah, so that's a great one. Then in that same pile of loot, a non-wrestling figure, and one I passed on initially, and then once I started seeing pictures, in-hand pictures of this figure, I had to have it, and that is the Ramen Toys Silverhawks Quicksilver figure. That is right here, and I have to be careful. This review is also up right now, and just absolutely gorgeous figure. Feels super nice in the hand, articulates really well. Only issue is I've heard some people have issues with the neck, and for mine, just as you can see, that I still need to glue that. But overall, just absolutely just beautiful figure, articulates wonderfully, and just is a beautiful, beautiful piece. Might make it into the top at the end of the year, but we will see. And then finally, more wrestling figures, and actually acquisitions I made today as I'm recording, or before I started recording this video. Did a quick Target run because I had to go out and do an errand anyway. And some WWE Legends Elite 16 starting to hit Targets. So I was able to pick up Rey Mysterio and Farouk. Totally happy about that. So the only one I'm missing that I want from this wave is Bradshaw. That is on pre-order, and it said preparing for shipment last I checked when I canceled the pre-orders for these because I found them, and super psyched about that. And actually, this Rey Mysterio figure looks even better than I thought it was going to, because I thought it was just gonna be a plain white robe, and it's actually kind of iridescent. So I'll get into that in my review when I record that later in the month. So that's notable acquisitions for September. So wrapping things up, closing things out with just personal notes and shout outs and all of that good stuff. So yeah, just personal news. Not much different from last vlog, just kind of getting by, trying to make it day by day, taking it one step at a time. And as I had said, I've said this is the third time saying that in this video, slowing down purchases, stuff like that. Again, I know a lot of us are feeling the price increases and all of that, and it's definitely making me look a little more carefully at what I collect, and kind of being a little more conscious of it. And certainly having the channel here makes for an interesting approach to just the way I make purchases and stuff like that, because there's definitely stuff that I'm interested in. I do want to give a shot, But when put up against something that is more of a priority, I'm gonna kind of shuffle it off to the side. And one of the examples actually was tonight when I was in Target, and I found the two WWE legends, and happened to go over to the NECA's other collectibles section, or more, I guess more deliberately collectibles section of the Target, and seeing the TMNT and Street Fighter figures, and that I have or had the Leonardo and Ryu pack on pre-order, just because definitely interested, and the Ryu figure definitely looks good, and I'm definitely interested in checking that out. But put against something that was more of a priority, I just kind of all right, well, I know which one I definitely want here. And so that's that. I mean, even though I'm sure I'd probably get more views for the TMNT Street Fighter figure pack. So, that is what it is. And, certainly, you got to collect what you want and what is fun. So, keeping the channel in mind, I definitely want to review things that people are going to watch and people are interested in, but I've also got to keep my own collection in mind because I don't make money from this yet. Or I don't know if I ever will. I hope I do. It'd be kind of cool. It's definitely a goal. I want to do well with this channel. So, I appreciate all of you being here. And again, those of you who watch the vlogs, I know you are truly interested, and there's usually 17 to 20 of you that routinely watch these. Absolutely. And that makes me happy because just anyone watching, it's definitely cool. And I just do these kind of as a decompress mentally and kind of a way to make myself face the camera and get over that, and definitely feel a lot more comfortable. So I hope that you've been able to see that progression, because that's it's been the journey. And then after that, I mentioned the collection video that is still coming up, but I do need one more shelving unit before I'm comfortable kind of showing it off, because I want to have more out. Most of my stuff is still in boxes. However, I did get a decent amount out at this point, but it's still kind of shifting around, and I do have some ideas for at least after having that one more unit. So hopefully I'll get that before the end of October, and that'll go up in November. So keep an eye out for that, and definitely I'm looking forward to doing that, because I want to show off what I've got. I mean, that's part of collecting. You want to show it off to people and kind of just sort of, I mean, it is fun to just look at it and go, okay, that looks cool. Oh, I pose those things well. But it'd be cool to show that off as well. And then finally, I am working on some customs. I know I mentioned customs in a lot of videos, and I don't get to do as much work as I would like to, certainly because I don't have any experience with it, and I can't get experience unless I do it, and I haven't done it yet. Pardon me. But so I definitely will be working on a more deliberate custom of kind of my human form here. So I have another avatar to have in videos, certainly for size comparisons. And I'm making that currently with some Valaverse figures. I have those together. I need to review one more Valaverse figure before I can kind of break it apart and use it for said custom. So that'll be coming up soon. And then my true form, I will be doing a custom of, and I have an idea for the recipe and all of that. And it's a matter of whether I want to take apart a figure I have right now and add it to it, or if I want to buy a second one. And that's always kind of a hard thing, because I just need the head of the certain figure to make that thing work. And then beyond that, it's a whole bunch of shaving down plastic and smoothing it out and all this stuff that I have no experience in, and I haven't found direct tutorials for yet. So that'll be a journey. If you want to see videos on that, please let me know, because I'm trying to figure out a way to catalog it and maybe kind of make it an ongoing thing, or at least make a compilation once it's done or near completion. So yeah, let me know if that's something you would like to see. And that brings us to shoutouts at the end of the video. And of course, it's going to be my standard shoutouts. You've been watching all these to the end. You know who you are. My wife Tracy, my best friend Joe, Evil Villain, my friend Nicoletta out in Arizona. All of you, thank you so much for the support and watching and stuff like that. And if you want a shout out at the end of these videos, let's talk. Interact, because my memory is terrible at this point in this current life cycle, and just so I need to interact with people more and more, and I could definitely do with being more social. So let's talk, whether it's Twitter, Instagram not as much, but I want to be on more. and certainly here in the comments here on YouTube, because I like to respond to stuff. So yeah, let's talk and have a time. So that's everything for September, and I hope you I hope you did view the video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, we'll do this again next month. So as always, please take care of yourself, take care of those around you, and most importantly, stay weird, simians.